All right, so this is our subject phrase review. Remember when there's no action, I mean, technically speaking, like in English, is and was would be an action, but we're just identifying something. So we're not saying like an action like walk, talk, run, or anything like that. We're just identifying. We're saying this is that. This is, what it is. And in Samoan, we use the O noun tense marker. So, and it's something that we don't do in English, but if we identify it, we have the O now tense marker, and then we have our limiter if we need one. Then we have our noun, and if we want to further describe the noun, we would have an adjective that goes after. So that's pretty much the format of that. So opasi, which one of these would be opasi?
That's plural, the buses.
Yep, the buses, and that would be valu. So number 8. So boom. And it's plural because there's no what do you call that thing? No limiter. There's no limit on it. So we're just saying this is plural buses, the buses. And we're being specific, even though there's no limiter there, it's still we're talking about a specific set of buses. So if we drive buses or whatever, and we go to work in the morning, and we see the set of buses on the bus lot, I would refer to that set of buses as opasi, opasi. All right. Number 2, olene tangamea, olene tangamea. Which one would this be?
Ten.
So, yep, 10. Sefulu. So 10 is this laundry. So we're saying that this and then tangamea is laundry. So it's a singular laundry. So laundry could be like clothes in a bag. So this laundry, or however you want to say it, we're referring to it as a singular piece of laundry. So, and in translation, like if you wanted to say the O out, and I always try to explain this because it throws people off. O could be like it is, or if we're talking about plural, it could be they are, but that's just in translation. In Samoan, I'm sorry, in English, we just usually wouldn't say that. We just say, this laundry. See, so that's the translation. But in Samoan, if that's all we're saying, there's no action, then we say olene tangamea or opasi, or in terms of golu, ofiti lona ingoa, ofiti Lona Ingoa. What number is that one?
P2,
Number
Oh, which one?
P2.
Fitu. Yep, Fitu. His name is Fiti. So we have Ofiti. So Fiti, Lona, Lona Ingoa. His name. So his name is Fiti. Ofiti Lona Ingoa. All right. And then another way to say it, if we were to flip it around, we say Olona Ingoa Ofiti. So there's 7. Which one? This was Sefulu. Oops. All right. Fa. Ole kama or ole tamalele.
Nima.
Ima. That boy, yep, that boy. And it's lele is like far away. It's way over there. So ole tama lele. And so we even though we take the lele, and we put it in the back, it still has to be a singular tama in the front of that. So we have to put our singular limiter in the front. Ole kama lele. So where is it at? Oh, Lima. Okay, Olipasi, which number?
number 1, the bus.
1. The bus. Yep. So it's a singular bus. Opasi. So hopefully, like you see the pattern here. We just make sure we have our limiter, or our limiter, and then our noun, and osetala or osekala.
9.
Ba.
Eva. Yep. Eva. So osekala, a story. So that is a singular, non-specific story. So tell me Daddy, tell me a story. Fasikala, fa mole mole. Yeah, osekala. Awesome. Ole tanga mele na, ole tanga mele nga.
Lua.
What? That laundry, that laundry. So we have a singular laundry, that. So that laundry. Awesome. Olona tala, olona tala.
Fa.
Her story. And then Lona could be, just depending on context, it could be his, it could be her, or it could be it, like a fish or a cat or dog or whatever. So that part in Samoan we'd have to pick up in context. So in this case, we don't have any context. We just have these choices here. So the closest one is going to be Olona Tala, her story, fa. Ola upasi.
3, my bus.
Number 3, kolu, my bus. This is a singular bus of mine. So singular bus of mine, my bus. Kolu. And then, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. And then the last one is Wa'utanga mea o lau fafkauli. I'm sorry, Wa'utanga mea o lau fafka.
Ono.
Oh no. My laundry. So my laundry. Okay, in this case, we're saying it's a plural laundry. So if it was singular like la'u, that would be my singular laundry. But in this case, since it's no L in front, it's still my, but it's plural. So my, oops. So my laundry, and we're connecting it. So my laundry equals lau fa'afitauli. Your problem. My laundry is your problem. Ongo. Awesome. So we probably should add a few more of these examples, like connecting, like olo ingo o viliamu o tangamel o la fafkauli. But really, all it is remember, and we had an exercise like that. One noun phrase equals another noun phrase, and we just put them both together like that. Boom, like that, and then connect it together with like that. So awesome. Let's move on to the next exercise. How do I do that? There we go. All right, so let's take actually we'll just do this one together. A is A or O class. Um I don't think did we do this? I don't think we did this in this class. I get
Oh,
the
we didn't do this one.
Okay, great. Yeah, I get it mixed up. We'll do this together. We won't take a few minutes. We'll just go ahead. You guys can just say it out loud if it's A or O. So vai, my leg. If vai is a leg, is it A or O class?
Oh,
O, body parts are O class. So if I say it's an O class, so if I say my leg, how would I say my leg? Samoan. Oops.
O uvai.
O, U, vai. Yeah, so and it would be either way. Like if I said my leg, or this would be like, my legs. Um, if I wanted to really specify as my leg, my singular leg, then lo'uvai, like my leg, because okinga lo'uvai, my leg is hurt. So but if I'm talking about my legs, then we just take the L away. So remember, L makes things singular in Samoan, and then when you take it away, it's going to be plural. Same way with like the a'u and la'u, like my laundry or my laundries. That's how we do it. We just take away the L. All right. Uso. In this case, we're talking about brother, but again, remember, Uso is also a sister as well, from woman to woman or girl to girl. It's also Uso. But in this case, in context, we're talking about brothers. So Uso is A or O class? Oops.
O.
Oh, okay. And if we say his brother, how do we say that? In full, what do you call that? Like we did in the last exercise. His brother. Our O now tense marker, and then it's a possession. So lona, and then olonga uso or olona uso. Lona or longa. Remember ends can be said like G style or N style. So you could say lona or longa, whichever. Lima, A or O class?
O.
Yep, O, because it's a body part. All body parts are gonna be O class. God gives it to you, or you were born with it, however you want to look at it. You didn't pick your body parts. Your body parts in this, world chose you. So her hand, how do we say her hand?
Olona Lima.
Olona Lima. Yep, Olona Lima. Awesome. So it's a O class. And then because we're talking about Lima or hand, and because Lima is an O class, we use Lona instead of Lana. If we say Lana Lima, the people are gonna look at you like, because Lima is gonna, in terms of hand or body part, is gonna be O class. All right. Maile, dog, or taifao. What is A or O class?
That's A class.
A class, yeah. No dog is over you. You're over the dog. One way to look at it is
La Umaile.
Yep. O la umaile. O la umaile. Yep. My dog. It's the A class. If you say o lo umaile, then it be like, oh, because
He's a member of your family.
right, yeah. Then you know what? But so and that's where the wordplay comes in at. Like if you wanted to express like extra endearment and you wanted to say something like that, and you can do that with your girlfriends or boyfriends too. Like instead of saying ola upele, if you say olou, then it's like you're giving it more reverence. But technically speaking, yeah, your dog is under you, like it's you own the dog. Your boyfriend, girlfriend, you chose them, so they would be A class. But if you were to give them an O class and say it that way, that would be like maybe poetic or something. But if you said it like like that's the way it is, people would probably look at you funny. But yeah, if it's if you consider it a member of your family, um, you know, yeah, you could say it like that, but people will still be like, eh. Uwo is a friend. So is that A class or O class?
A class.
A class, yeah. You picked your friend. And again, that's one of those things like you can do your wordplay with it if you want. But and like, oh yeah, we're really great friends. I give them the reverence of O class. But usually when people say his friend, how would we say his friend? Or my friend or anything like that? In this case, his friend.
Olana Uo.
Yep, Olana Uwo. Olana Uwo. So because the friend is an A class, so the if it were a mom or dad or something like that, that's when we would use the O. But in this case, we're talking about a uwo or a friend. So, and I think I just blew it for the next one. So tama, that is a father. So if a father is an A or O class.
O class.
O class, yep, tama. So that could be either o mato tama or o tato tama ilelangi. So if we're talking about the father in the sky, or if you're talking about your father that was given to you, so it's still going to be O class. So her father. So we're talking about her father. So how would we say that one? So
Olona tama.
Tama, yep, Tama. And I don't have the Patmamafa thing there, but that would go over there, not Tama, but Tama. Ava is a wife. So this is one of those that kind of people were arguing when I first started making my videos on Instagram. They were like, "Oh no, it's an A class, it's O class." So really, this one's either one. So I just do like that. But I would just refer to my wife to be on the safe side as an O class, because it's that's just how you do it, I guess. But some people said no, it's not. It ain't like that. But so how would we say either way, however you want to tell on yourself, my wife. If you want to say my wife, um, O noun tense marker, and then I'll just
Oloava.
yep. I'll just yep. I think I heard it like the way I would say lo'u ava. Um, but yeah, like I said, some people might say it like that. I'm not saying that's wrong. I just if you're married to somebody, I would just give them that the O class. I think you guys got this, but let's do a couple more. Ipu. Is this an A class or O class?
A class.
A class, yeah. Inanimate objects, her cup, stuff like that. You can drop your cup, break it, just go get another one. How do we say this?
Olana ipu.
Yep, Olanga Ipu. Olanga Ipu. Yep, and let me find one that's a little bit different. Let me see. Olona Tina is pretty much like Olona Tama. My job, Ngalwenga. So job is another one that's I hear people say it both kind of ways, but you know, to be honest, I don't know which one is A or O. I just hear people say it both ways. So job, o lo'u ngalwenga, o la'u ngalwenga. And then tala. Okay, let's do tala. This is also another one that's it could be A or O, but it's usually purposefully done. And we just had, I think, toward the end of the last class, we talked about this. So if it's something that's in your control, like you, for example,
What are you doing?
tala, or wait, tala, that's $1. Tala, I meant tala, not tala. But if it's an A class story, right? So that's something that's in my control. I can say what I want to say. It's coming out of my mouth. I control this story. So that would be a A class thing. And if it would be like a O class story, something that's out of your control, then that would be O class. So maybe the story is being told about you, like a documentary, like you had no control over the documentary. So somebody's telling a story about you. It could be gossip in the community. People are yeah, you hear the story about him. So that something like that would be O class. So the same format applies, but it just depends. Just in context, there's a slight difference whether it's A class, a story that I'm telling, like I'm sitting here telling you guys a story. So um that would be oh well, I'm sorry, we're his story. So he's sitting here telling you a story. So that would be Olana, right? But if it's a story, maybe you're watching it on TMZ or something like that, and they're just saying all kind of stuff about him. You don't know if it's true or not. He doesn't have any control. So Olona Tala. So anyone have any questions on that? And it's not Tala, that's $1 or currency rather. Okay, I don't see anything. So let's go to our next one. This is still on subject, so let me see. Yeah, okay, so this one's a little bit different. Just pick any five to do. Let's just take 5 minutes. If you can do more than that in 5 minutes, great. But I just want to try to review as much as we can before we finish off this week. So let's take 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 after the hour. We'll come back together and then we'll review all of these. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me in the chat. All right, so hopefully you were able to get most of these, if not at least a few. Our car. So we're talking about three or more people. Cavalli. Or I'm sorry, our car. So how do we say this in Samoan?
O tato tavale.
Ole tato ta'avale. Awesome. So, and you might also hear like, you might see something like this as well. This is more like formal Samoan. It would be like Ola tato ta'avale. So if you see something like that, it's the same thing. But what they're doing instead of saying le, this is an easier way because it applies to A class and O class things. So I hear most people speak like that. But if it's an A class possession, they'll say Ola tato ta'avale. If it's an O class possession, like when after they say tato tatalo, like all of us pray, and then you might hear the fight for out, start off and say olo tato tama ilelangi. So they'll say something like that. But since Tama, or the Father up in the heaven, in the sky, is an O class, that's the difference between La Tato and Lo Tato. The only difference is whatever the noun is. This is an O class, this is an A class. But if you just want to simplify it, everything you just say le, you make it a singular thing. So our thing is ta'avale, so that's why it's ole tato ta'avale. Awesome. The light. The light. So this one, I guess, is like the last. It doesn't really apply to anyone know this one?
Ole moli.
Yep, Onemoli. Boom. Simple as that. And some pictures. So, go ahead. It's plural, non-specific. So we would just say
Oli ata.
Oniata. Yep. Oniata. Yep. So instead of se would be like a picture, but if we wanted to make it plural, like I need some pictures, for my yearbook or whatever. Oniata. Oniata. Awesome. This notebook. This notebook. How do we say this one? And there's a few different ways, so don't or a couple at least. We have our O.
Ole
And
ne api.
yep, Olene Api. Yep. And if we wanted to, put the Lene on the other side, anyone have that one?
Ole happy nene.
Ole Api Lene. So you see how we did that? If you take that, if you take the Lene and put it in the back, that's perfectly fine. But you still have to make sure that it's singular, that the Api is going to be singular. Okay. So if we say O Api Lene, people will know what you're talking about, but technically this is plural, like notebooks, this. So it's like it doesn't really, it doesn't agree. So it's, we would say oleapi lene. And then and this is oleneapi. We're saying the same thing. Those boats, how do we say that?
Ona va'a.
Nava'a, yep. And then, and this is the same. We could just say, take the na and put it in the back. O va'ana. The only thing about this, oh, not the only thing, but you see, so this is plural, so it's okay if we put it in the back, and then we don't have anything here because it's still plural. Everything agrees. I usually hear people say it this way, o na va'a, but you know, you could, the same principle applies. You can flip it around and say it that way as well. I don't know that what, you know, why um, you know, some people would say, well, why would you say it this way and not that way? I don't really know. I think it's just preference, but I usually hear it that way. Um, but just remember, if you're gonna take the singular, this or that, and put it in the back, you have to just make sure that you put the le in front of your noun to keep it singular. But when it's plural, it's okay. Front or back, you're fine because it's plural this way. You put it behind it, it's still going to be plural. Okay. A toy. How do we say that? Singular, non-specific toy. Like you bought for your kids yesterday. Like, well, you probably bought a lot of toys. So but one of the toys, if you picked it out,
Posible talo.
se me algo. So a toy, a toy. So all of these pretty much follow the same thing or the same format. O, limiter if you need it, and then the noun. I probably should have had some. Well, I think we do have some with the what do you call that? You know, the word to describe it. Like if I wanted to say a yellow toy, a green toy, or something like that. Um, my red cup, whatever. Let's just do one more, and then we'll go to what's something that's different. Oh, here we go. Their bank that belong is their to bank, a bank for them too. How do we say this one?
Ole la fale tupe.
Ole la fale tupe. Ole, ole la fale tupe. Awesome. So we have, it's a singular bank. It's a singular bank that belongs to them too. Great. Everyone see how that's done? So if we said oh la fale tupe, that's their banks. Like they're, you know, maybe they got money or, you know, they got money spread around. So that's their banks. O la fale tupe. But if we wanted to say their bank, so this is what makes it their. So, you know, so it's them too is la. Okay. La fale tupe. So their bank. I'm sorry, there are banks, but to make it to say make to say jeez. To make it be one bank. That's what it is. Ole la fale tupe. Ole la fale tupe. Okay. So yeah, that one is, it kind of takes getting used to, especially when we're talking about a singular thing that belongs to multiple people. So it's really all you gotta do when we're talking about that singular thing is say le, and you know you couple it with the noun, but it's important that you know you have the correct um possessive, and the possessive in this case is them too. Okay. So something to get used to. All right. If you have any questions, feel free, just speak up or hit me on the email. All right, so here's another. Oh, okay. This kind of goes with the last one that we need to kind of practice for. I would say we'll do this together, but it would take kind of a little minute. Just pick three. Pick three of them. Let's take it's 41 after. At 45, we'll come together and then we'll review this. So this is a real good review. If you were lost on that last question, all of these are just like that. Just like that. So 45 after. Hit me in the chat if you have questions. All right, sorry about that. Okay. can't get this thing to work right. All right, so their love. Okay, so it's the love that belongs to them too. So it's kind of like the last one that we had. Oops, there we go. Anyone got that one?
Ole la alofa.
La alofa. Awesome. So it's their love. It's a singular love that belongs to both of them. So if we just took this out and said ole alofa, we're saying the love, right? So it's a singular love, but now we want to say it's a love that belongs to both of them. Ole la alofa. So if we were telling a story about their love, this may be a good way to start it off. You know, their love, or you know, the love that belongs to them too, and then we would just start talking about it. Olela alofa. Awesome. Our teacher. So it's and the teacher of us too. So we're in the same class, us too. Exclusive.
Ole ma whaiaonga.
Oh, yep. Ole ma whaiaonga. So it's a teacher, a singular teacher that we both share, and it's us and not the maybe the person that we're talking to. So if we're saying yeah, ole ma whaiaonga, or you know, evalea, you know, like you know, our teacher is stupid or whatever. So but we're saying that our teacher, not your teacher, the person that's being spoken to, but our teacher, me and Wale. It's me and Wale's teacher. You know, he doesn't really have it together. But I'm not talking about yours. So we're excluding them. If we were to say our teacher, like, and I'm speaking to you, then I would say oleta fayaonga. There's nobody being excluded from the conversation. I'm speaking to you, so that's I would say ta. So that's what it means by exclusive and inclusive. Okay, their dentist, their singular dentist belonging to three people. Anyone got that one? Oh, it's a singular dentist, so we have to make sure that we say le, oops, or le, and then there. So it's there.
La rātou
Yep,
o ma inifu.
yep, for my yep. So ole lato for my inifo. Ole lato for my inifo or inifo, whichever one. Awesome. So, and then this one right here, I had to add, so wedding by itself, or to be married. So remember, like we spoke briefly about if you have a verb, right? So a verb, fa'aipuipo, o te fia fa'aipuipo ya te oi. I want to marry you. So that's a verb. I want to marry you. So fa'aipuipo is an action. So o te fia fa'aipuipo ya te oi. I want to marry to you. But a wedding is the same word, but a wedding itself is a noun, right? It's an event, it's a thing that happens. So this is one of those words where we just take the verb fa'a ipo, and then if we add a ga on it, married or marriage, I'm sorry, to marry turns into wedding, right? It's an event that happens. So your wedding, fa'a iponga. So how do we say your two wedding, a wedding that belongs to your two? Sorry, it's real hard for me to go back and forth to Samoan to English. So your a wedding that belongs to you too. How do we say that? We say, oh, it's a singular wedding, so we say le, and then it's two
Lua.
people. I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead.
O le lua whaaipoiponga.
Yep. O le lua fa'a Po'iponga. Awesome. So lua is the possessive word for you too. Okay. So when it comes to the possessives, you kind of just have to study the possessive pronoun worksheet. If you don't have it, I'll try to find it. Well, we only have 9 minutes left. I'll try to find it and put it in our chat. But those are the words that are like it's gonna well, the plural ones are gonna be ma, us two, exclusive, ta, us two, inclusive, la is them two, right? Lua is you two. And then when we get to mato, tato, that's when we're talking about three or more people. Mato, lato, what's the other one? Mato, lato, oto or to, right? So those, once you know these, then it makes it easier to answer these. Let's do one more and then we'll move to something a little different. Okay. Three or more exclusive. What was this one? There are three. Okay, yeah, let's do the number 9. Anyone do that one?
O mātou tusi folau.
Omato tusi folau. And awesome. And the reason why we didn't say ole mato tusi folau, because now what we would be saying is the singular passport of ours. The singular passport of ours. And of course, we all have to have our own passports. So it's going to be multiple tusi folau. It's going to be several of them. So we wouldn't have a le right there. So we're talking about multiple tusi folau. So even if we took this away and we said o tusi folau, we're saying passports, multiple passports. But if we say o mato tusi folau, then now we're saying multiple passports belonging to us, or our passports that belong to us three. So, and usually when you hear mato as opposed to tato, that means somebody is being excluded from the conversation. So maybe I'm speaking to the customs agent. So we come into Samoa and we say ya o mato tusi folau. And I present them with o mato tusi folau. Our passport. Here are our passports, o mato tusi folau. Right? So that's how we would present it, like that. Okay. All right, we only have a few minutes. Let's see what the next slide is. We might end it here, but if this next one is okay, yeah, let's just do this and then we'll stop. So based on the English translation, write the number of the correct Samoan possessive. All right, so we have la'u, which means my singular specific. Okay. Sa'u, which it's still singular specific. I'm sorry, it's still singular, but it's not specific. Okay. I won't go too far in this because we don't have much time. Sana is gonna be his, her, or its, non-specific. Okay. Sao is gonna be your, non-specific. Lana is gonna be his, her, or its specific thing. And then Lao is gonna be your specific thing. Remember, the specific things were with the L, non-specific things are with the S. Okay, so these are oftentimes with questions, or if you're just saying, like, if I was asking, like, do you have a pen or something like that? Well, that's still a question, but let's just go through. We don't have much time. So, you don't have a car. You don't have a car. How would we make this? You don't have a car. So right now we just have eleai ta'avale. How would we say you don't have a car? Oops.
Lo tavale.
So if we say low tavale, that's gonna be O class. Kavale or tavale is gonna be an A class thing. So how would we say you're right there though. You're right there. So how would we say
Lau.
so yeah, so lao is gonna be singular specific. So if we said e leai lau ta'avale, we're saying you don't have your car. You don't have that, that the car that I want. I'm talking about something specific. But if I were to say, yeah, you ain't got a car, like you don't have a car.
Sa'u,
Sa'u would be my car. You
my
don't
car. So
have
Sa'u, it dropped
Sa'u.
the
Tau.
Yep, it's gonna be this one. Yeah, so if you say Sa'u, then eleai Sa'u ta'avale. Just if I were to just say that, that would be like me saying, yeah, I don't have a car. Eleai Sa'u ta'avale. I don't have a car. But if I were to say, if I'm telling somebody else, I would say, eleai Sa'u ta'avale. Like you don't have a car. So eleai Sa'u. So this is remember the Sao is like a Lao, but it's non-specific. So you don't have a car. So this is where our non-specific thing is at. Um, you don't have a car. So oops, where's it at? My bad. Okay. So this would be eleai Sao
Tavale.
Ta'avale. Yeah, so this would be that one. Let's try to do a couple or well, yeah, let's do number 2. I have a car. I have a car. I got
E
more.
ta'avale.
Ta'u, yep. E, sa'u ta'avale. So I have a car. Maybe I got a Honda and a Ferrari. But which one do you want? Sa'u ta'avale. Like which one do you want to use? I'm letting you know that I have a car. But I have multiple cars. So or I might just be saying, yeah, I've got a car. I'm not being specific about it because you don't know the car that I'm talking about. So, but whenever you see Sa'u, then that's like in conversation it's understood that you don't know which car I'm talking about. So there is some question about the car. You just want a car. If you want to borrow one, I would say yeah, vale. Like I got a car. And then let's just do actually, you know what, we'll stop right there and we'll start with this whole sheet because I don't want to gloss over anything. Um and yeah, we'll end it right there. And then in our last class on Thursday, we'll just go over our tenses and then we'll do time and all everything else. And then whatever else you guys want to talk about. So